So if you're interested in finding out what drives me on empty most of my days to do up to 50 kilometers running, 13 hours, 14 hours running, ultramarathons like 80 kilometers on just a banana, in extreme heats, and all those tips from mountain biking 100k's or not even 100k, 50k and whatever. I push hard, so I race as hard as I can. My body's in drive mode constantly, and I just drink liquids, water, and occasionally I have salt tablets if I'm out on pleasurable runs with people, so I'm talking more. I find that when I talk more, I'm losing more, so I tend to have to put salty back in. So if you're interested in watching this video, stay online, watch it, enjoy it. It will go on for a while, and at the end of the film I have a relive of my recent 50 kilometers, 3,000 meters ascent, 3,000 meters descent on the Wicklow Mountains. You get to watch that. Okay, let's start. So yeah, I just get up in the morning, I have my tea or my glass of warm water, I pack my bag, put my running shoes on, my gear, and I go running. I often run with people, and most of the time run on my own, and I'll just go forever. Now, before I go into this, it's not an introduction and how to do it. I'm not teaching anyone how to do it. I'm just explaining to you how I do it and why I do it. And it started many years ago when I was a little bit overweight. I say a little bit, maybe 16.5 stone. I was slowly getting into mountain running more and more, coming from mountain biking, and I just couldn't get rid of my gut, to be honest with you. And I was eating what I was supposed to be eating. I wasn't eating like high carbs or, I was eating good fats, lots of good vegetables, fruit, and the general stuff that most sports people eat. But for some reason I just couldn't lose my gut. So I pushed for years and just wasn't getting anywhere. Okay, I lost a little bit of weight, but I was still carrying. And it's very hard to get rid of your gut. It's very hard as a runner and a mountain biker and a cyclist. I'm a full-time, I suppose I'd call myself a full-time athlete because I cycle every day. I mountain bike pretty much 2 or 3 times a week. I do extreme mountain biking distances up to 100 kilometers in the mountains. That's with altitude. I've recently just done one 100k in the worst weather conditions ever to Ireland. It was raining, lashing rain, thundering rain, in like cold, damp conditions from 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. I've done that for charity, by the way. And I only had a small amount of food with me. Now, I needed to have something hot to keep my body warm. I was wearing waterproofs, but there's so much rain it got down into my neck that it made me shiver. I had a cold. I was feeling I had a chest infection, but it wasn't really. It was just the cold dampness on my body. I had to change the kit. But when it came to the food, I just needed to get some hot liquids. So I rang a friend of mine and she came down with hot chocolate. Brilliant. I didn't really eat much. I had planned to eat some stuff. There's a little fly and he's buzzing around there. He's very interested in the camera. And I had a few salty potatoes because the carbs kept my body warm. But really I didn't have that much for the amount of mileage I did. I did 3,500 meters ascent. And probably the same on the downs. Done more downs than ups. In them conditions, my body felt great. So when it comes to running, for me, I just mentally, over the years I've been training, I've probably been training on empty for about 5-6 years. Now that doesn't mean I found there is like an end. There is never an end. You're constantly learning, you're constantly improving, you're constantly changing ways. And I've been a vegan for years, then a vegetarian. Now I'm vegan-ish. I say ish, where I don't buy cheese. I never drink milk anyway. I've always drank rice milk or almond milk or something like that. So I don't eat eggs, and occasionally I do. But when I go out, I buy treats once in a while. We're almost like animals. We need a treat. My daily regime with food would be a lot of powders, a lot of protein powders, so a lot of high fats, low carbs. Okay, it's difficult now when the lockdown appeared because it was more carbs, takeaways, and I hurt my back as well. I slipped a disc in my back, so for me that journey was I went downhill a little bit and I put on more weight. Difficult for me to explain with my dyslexia, but I'm going to do the very best I can to share why and give you some knowledge. And I never wanted to get to the distance, but I ended up coming home with 42k, 48k, 50k, 60k, 70 kilometers on all day out there, you know. And I was thinking it's very hard to eat when you're running. So I survived on baby food because I found it was liquidy and it was vegetables broken up or fruit. And that was great. As well, what happened to me when I was eating while running, my belly was bloating. My gut was getting like a balloon, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I often find that when I'm drinking too much water. Or if I drink anything fizzy while exercising, I find that my belly, however my body works, doesn't agree to foods. So I started asking myself, why do I need to eat while out training? Do I need to eat it because I enjoy food? Do I need to eat it because I need energy to keep going? So I start training myself, testing different things, different methods on how to survive for so many hours in the mountains, doing what I do, which is quite extreme in my opinion, on empty. So that's what I did. So I started slowly reducing the intake of a little bit of food that I was eating, which would be baby foods, or when they're in a sachet. So to me they're like baby foods, and they're in the baby department when you go to buy them. And there'd be fruit and vegetables in them, and they'd be yummy. And they'd be just pure, there'd be no processed sugars or anything like that, which is great. And then I usually bring 2 or 3 of them on longer runs or cycles, but then I reduce it to 2 over a period of months. Then I reduce it to 1 over a period of time as well. And then slowly I just went out there on empty. Some people rely on a processed gel, sugar, and I just felt I didn't need it. And I was doing great. I was getting really energetic. When you know you're there, I think for me, is when you finish your run and you still feel you've got a lot of energy. Your legs feel good. Okay, you might be a little stiff here and there, that's normal. But you don't feel like, oh, I need to eat a horse. I need to eat. That's a figure of speech, by the way. I don't need a horse. But you don't need to eat. Like some people say, I need to get to the pub now and get a pint and stuff myself up. That's not necessary. When I think you've got to that point when you can just sit down and then relax, take it all in, enjoy yourself, then go for a socialising meal and just slowly eat it. You're not stuffing the food in because you don't really, your body is adapted to, my body is adapted to the way I just kind of disconnect. I feel sometimes in my mind that I need it, but I don't really need it for the reasons of energy. I enjoy it because I'm human and I like to eat. I love socialising and I love eating. Here's a great tip. If you get to a point, I'll get to why eventually, but if you get to a point, if you're training yourself, if you're trying to eat out yourself because you're sick of carrying too much weight, too much gels in your pockets, too much food, too many jellies, too much sugar, fake energy. I just don't believe that all that stuff can be energetic. It's just marketing, in my opinion, you know. And I'm not one for negativity in any way at all. And anyone who knows me, I'm a very positive person, and I have got a great outlook in life. But I just really don't think that all those foods are giving you energy, you know. I think if you train yourself slowly into it in a way like I did over the years, and it's for me, I'm not, as I said, I'm not trying to encourage anyone to do this. I'm just answering the questions that all been asked for over the years that I never really answered because I didn't know how to say it, and now I'm just making a video on YouTube, and here it is. So just train yourself slowly. As I said, break it down. If you bring out 1 bar, then only eat half of that if you think you need it. Most people can go for longer than they think they can. Okay, I need something to eat. Don't stuff it all in. Just have a tiny nibble of something and drink it down with water. Because most of the time your body is actually just going through that kind of hunger stage, but you can actually pass that hunger stage again and learn something new about yourself at that point. Go, do you know what? I actually don't need it. I just thought I needed it because I'm used to being a human eating at a certain amount of hours a day. But because I'm out training on the hills or mountain biking or cycling or running or kayaking or whatever you do, you feel you need to eat something. But when you've passed that feeling, you actually don't need it at all. And then you realise that, oh, I actually don't need it. I can actually push on further. Because us humans always have more energy stashed inside us somewhere, but we just haven't figured out how to use it. So yeah, try that, you know, once in a while and give it time. It's almost it's just the same as running an ultra or a marathon, or for someone even running 15k race that they never ran before, you know. It's always a challenge, don't get me wrong. Learn what's best for yourself. It's great to be inspired by people like myself and other people around us that inspire me and so on. The world's inspiring each other. Nowadays, with social media, it's fantastic because we're inspired in many ways. Why is always the why. Big emails, why JuJu, can you do this? Why do you do that? And what's your passion? Well, my passion in life is to be most positive person in the world. No, I can't be the most positive person in the world, but I try to be the most positive person in myself, for myself. Because years ago I wasn't always positive. I wasn't the best person, and I wanted to change my lifestyle. And to be a better person, you need to be one with nature. Nature is the healing, you know. Surrounded by trees, the elements, the snow, the rain, the hailstones, the thunder, the leaves, the earth falling apart, everything. We're surrounded by it all. We feel it. I feel it. And a good part of me going on empty is because I couldn't afford to buy food at the time, you know. I live on donations. I don't have any other income. I have no dole. I have no COVID payments. I have zero income. I have no money in my banks. I just rely on clearly donations that people give me from my runs. And I don't want to set that up as a business. I much prefer it to be peaceful and let people come and enjoy nature, and whatever they feel they want to pay because they enjoyed it, that's what they feel like they will give me, and I'm happy with that. I'll go, okay, I've just run out of all my 7 avocados because I have one a day. I wouldn't go in a rush to go to the shop and buy 7 more for the family. It's best to go and empty as much as I can until I need to eat. So, and the first lockdown, which was in March, I went on a fast for a full week. I didn't exercise, so I wasn't using much energy. I was doing plenty of yoga. This was in 2020, if I'm right. My memory's gone a little bit funny since my last birthday. Anyway, I decided to see how long I can go on empty without exercising. I lasted a week. I drank liquids every day. I had a sneaky smoothie, but I didn't put much in it. I was pretty much wheatgrass, spirulina, with some maca powder and some other powders like that. So there wouldn't have been any, like, there's energy there obviously, yeah, but I wouldn't have survived on it. But personally I didn't need anything to survive. I survived on air. And I'm not an aeritarian. I know there's aeritarians out there, and I think that's fantastic, but I personally wouldn't like that journey at this present moment. But I definitely can see the power of being an aeritarian. So an aeritarian is someone who doesn't eat at all and just survives on touch and smell. It's out there. I know a guy who, I don't know him personally, read his book. He survived on it, and he healed his cancer by started off with green smoothies every day, and then he became an aeritarian, and he's cured his cancer, you know. It can be done. So I survived a week just by meditation and yoga and walking my dogs during the first lockdown. And it was fantastic. It was brilliant. But up to that week, I had less foods. So this was the week previous to all my eating of my good foods anyway. And then it became, I'm running out of food. Guess what? I'm going to do this for a week and see how I can do it. So, as I said, you're easing your way down. So you're not eating a full bar, you're eating half a bar. You're not eating a full smoothie, you're eating half smoothie. You're not eating your full dinner, you're eating half your dinner. Slowly each day, increasing that down to your body is starting to learn to adapt to being able to do what you can. So for me, that week was to go fasting for a week with no foods, no solids, just liquids. And the liquids was just water. I had a pint of apple cider vinegar because I felt like something sweet. So I had do you know what it felt? Do you know what made me feel something sweet? It's because I was listening to a podcast and an ad came in. I'm sure a product like a fizzy drink thing, you know. And I went, So I had a pint of apple cider vinegar, which technically filled me back up. And I didn't feel great actually when I drank that. I think it was too acidy. My body was empty. But anyway, I managed to get over it. I've done a lot of meditation, a lot of soul healing, a lot of self-awareness, posture, and it was great. So anyway, the week had passed, and I said, well, okay, it's a week now. 7 days are done. What will I do? Will I try and see how far I can go on again? This is like running. You get to 40k and you go, sure, I feel good. Let's push to 50. You know, it's never an ending. And you know that your body and your mind ticking, everything's going because you're a cycle. And you can keep going for as long as you want, but how good are you at recovery? So the recovery is just as important. Now I'm out 2 days after my 50k, we say 6,000 meters total because it's up and down. and I feel fresh. Most people will take 2 to 3 days for that body system to kick in to get really stiff and sore, but I personally would say after doing something like that, don't hang around too much. Keep moving, but slowly. Don't push. Don't go high. Don't go fast. Just take it easy. I've been cruising around under 300 meters on the bike, on the gravel bike as well. So I'm not just on the roads. I'm in the forests. I cycled here. It's just about 150 meters. But you know, just keep it steady. Don't sit around and feel sorry for yourself. You know, and do lots of ice baths and river dips. And that's another thing about my body as well. I'm very spiritualized with nature, and I do a lot of tree hugging. I ground myself a lot, so I barefoot walk every day. I train my feet to be strong. I'm one with the dirt. I very rarely wash my hands after being in nature. I wash my hands all the time when I'm in the shops. There's people, public transport I don't do. I try my best to cycle everywhere. I don't do trains, airplanes, only when I have to. If I fly, I try my best to do simple as I possibly can, you know. I wash everything all the time. But when I'm in nature, I don't. I like, even after my run, I have a river dip or something. I would leave the mud on. I think there's something really spiritual and connected to my skin about leaving the mud on. It's inert and it's safe, and it's bog and it's rain. It's Mother Nature, you know. It's why wash it away? People spend money in the shops for this kind of stuff, you know. I just decide to leave it on. It's good for me. And most times it comes off because my skin's very oily. So yeah, I think all of that stuff connects to myself and why I can do what I do for so long. Which at the end of the day, the why word. Well, that's the whole story. There is why, you know. And it was never really a goal for me to go, oh yeah, I can fast for 7 days. What do I do now? Or, you know, I can run an ultramarathon on empty and just have a banana because of the sake of it, you know. Or I can cycle or run or do whatever, a challenge I set myself, and I do it on empty. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It's almost a podcast in some way. I'm asking my own questions. Well, technically I'm answering the questions some of them have been asked to me over the months of emails, and I just haven't had a chance to get back to all of this, because it's not that I didn't know how to get back to this, and I'm very into getting back to people. I always answer all my comments and stuff. It's more about what I say is going to inspire you, because you're obviously asking me why to learn something for yourself, and I didn't want to encourage anyone at that time because I wasn't sure how to say it to you. And there isn't a right or wrong way of saying anything in life. Like, I used to tattoo artists all my life, hence all the tattoos, and I trained many people to be tattoo artists, and they're fully qualified now, and they're amazing reputations all over Europe. And like, when I taught them, I wasn't the best tattoo artist, but they thought I was brilliant. We'll always have doubt in ourselves, no matter what we do in life. But you can encourage anyone, and you can teach anyone anything, really. I mean, you can be a really good tree climber, you could be a great backflipper, you could be a fantastic BMXer, you can be a great swimmer. I mean, I can't swim. If someone else can swim, I would learn from them. I don't need to go to a qualified person to learn to swim. I don't need a certificate to say I've learned to swim, you know. So, in my opinion, you can always teach someone something. And, you know, just like tattooing, I've taught a lot of people how to cycle bikes that never cycled in their life. I've taught a lot of people how to trail run. Luckily learned how to trail run safely, that has never been injured. You know, my technique is really good on the trails, and I've learned a lot of things in trail running over the years that it helped me teach and motivate other people, which they've learned, and they've got to places in their lives that they'd never ever thought they could. So, you know, and I never encourage anyone to get a tattoo. If someone wants a tattoo, they get a tattoo. If someone wants to go on empty, they go on empty. That's not something that is part of the package. That's something that I personally do myself. Well, if you're doing it, then you've done it, and you're doing it, so enjoy it. There's not more to learn. Only thing you learn is just to keep improving, and that's what I've been doing. Most nutritionists will say, and professional athletes will say, that if you're doing a 50k, maybe 25 or 28 kilometers into it, have a small piece of snack just to feed the brain, because the brain is what tells you can keep going. Well, I passed that brain part without eating anything, because I figured when I got to that point, why do I need to eat if I just got to that point and I don't need to eat all this time? Why do I need to eat for the next section? So I taught myself to overcome that part. Now, there is a danger of being your body eating itself. You have to be careful. Now, there's always a bit of fat on my belly. I can never lose that. I don't go to the gym as much. I don't do so much core work, but I do a lot of yoga and stuff. So I'm flexible and strong at the right time, right places. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed the video today. And what a lovely sunny day in my local woods. No one's passed by. It's fantastic to have the woods to myself at the moment. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it's motivated you in some ways. I hope I got to the answers that the emails have been asked about why and how and so on. I try to think about as much of how it suits my lifestyle, because not everything would suit everyone's lifestyle. And just remember a few tips is slowly, like, just be careful of your weight. Always keep an eye on your weight. Always weigh yourself. Take notes. I have a massive diary. Take notes and keep an eye on your weight. Don't go under your standard body weight. You can get your body weight measured for your height and your age. So just keep an eye on that. I won't talk about mine because I don't want to go into that element at the moment. So yeah, just keep an eye on those things. And drink lots of liquids, lots of water. Afraid to drink water from the streams. Just don't at first to go into it straight away and just drink a big cupful of it. Just sip it away. If you have a salty tablet or some sort of electrolyte in your bag, then put that in the water as well, just to dilute it a little bit. Never drink from lakes. Remember, it's flat. You want the water coming from a fast rush, and don't, even from the top, if it's coming off the rocks, don't take it from the top. Get the bottle or whatever you have underneath, and drink it from the flow that's falling down. You can hug nature as much as you can. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. It gives you energy as well. Sunlight is great as well. It gives you lots of energy. Rain also gives you energy. Stick your tongue out once in a while and let the water in your face. At the end of the day, where do you think your water's coming from? It's coming from the sky, So, open your mouth up and drink it, Listen to your body, but listen to the other part of your body. So when you think you're starving, you're probably not. You're probably it's something, it's a time clock you're used to eating at this time. So learn from that and develop, okay? Never say no. Always say I'll try. Never say I can't. Always say I can. Motivate yourself. There's ways around things. I've been training people the last couple of months now to barefoot walk, to literally barefoot walk on stones and grass and all sorts of terrain, and also river dipping in cold waters and why it's very good for you. So we might touch that topic another time, another video, because this video is going on too long. And we will definitely talk about cold water recovery. It's a big thing at the moment, and we'll push on from there. So I hope you enjoy my film. Give me a like, please, and subscribe to my channel. I never usually talk about stuff like that. I keep it organic. If people want to do it, they can. But I need as much encouragement on my page, because these films take forever to make. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talking going involved in them. There's a lot of time consuming. There's a lot of editing, and it would be nice to know that you are all enjoying the videos I make. Send a donation on it if you want. I appreciate all donations. Send me an email and we can talk about that. And obviously the emails will keep me and my lifestyle going in nature, help you pay for a few bills, etc. And yeah, so thanks again for watching. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and let's talk from there. Alright, peace out from JuJu.